Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim al-khair. Lesson number 26, exercise number 4. Iqra ma yali. Read the following. Okay, so this lesson is about mithal, right? Which is the verbs that start with waw. For example, wasala, wajada. And what happens in mudari, the waw gets dropped. So it becomes wasala yasilu. Instead of yasilu, it becomes yasilu. That's the only abnormality that we have here in this mithal, right? Because there many verbs have different abnormalities. And the next one that we have, like ajwaf and naqis, they will have more changes in them, but this one has only one change in the mudari, and the changes that it changes the waw gets dropped. All right, so exercise number 4, it's only about reading. Mata tasilu at-tayratu min Barisa. When will the aeroplane arrive from Paris? Tasilu fi as-sa'ati al-hadiyata 'asharata wan-nisfi. It will arrive at 11 and half, like 11:30. So tasilu is used for the ta'ira, for the airplane, because it is feminine. That's why we use the tasilu and not yasilu. يجب علينا أن نفهم القرآن الكريم ونعمل به. It is a must for us to understand Quran and to act upon it. نعمل به. قال لي الطبيب, the doctor said to me, ضع هذا القرص على اللسان ثم ابلعه. Take this tablet on your, put this tablet on your tongue and then swallow it. Put هذا القرص, this tablet, as we can see here, قرص in the picture, and the plural is أقراص, on the pattern of أفعال. Tablet, and the plural is jam, is tablets. ضع هذا القرص على اللسان, put this tablet on your tongue, ثم ابلعه, then swallow it. ابلعه, what kind of verb is this?
Amr.
Yes, that's right. So it's bala yablau, and then it could be bala yablau as well. We will see inshallah in the end of this lesson. Sometimes a verb can have two past forms, like it could be bala'a and it could be balia. The ain kalima can have fatha and kasra simultaneously. Not a lot of them, very few, but they can have both. ستجدني في البيت بعد صلاة العشاء إن شاء الله. You will find me in my house after Isha prayer, if Allah wills, or by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قف هنا يا سائق, stop here, O driver. أنا أريد أن أنزل, I want to get down. If it is from وقف يقف, right?
يقف.
So this is فعل الأمر. هنا, here, يا سائق, O driver. أنا أريد أن أنزل, I want to get down. أن أنزل. What kind of construction? Masdar al-mu'awwal, right? Mu'awwal, yeah. So it is called interpreted masdar. So basically, when you say أنا أريد, أنا is fail, أريد, أنا is the file. أريد fail plus file. And أنا is mubtada, and then أريد أن أنزل is khabar. However, when we are analyzing the sentence, we can also sentence it in two ways. For example, ana is mubtada and uridu an anzila is khabar. That's number one. And number two, if you only want to analyze it in two different ways, for example, ana uridu an anzila, ana uridu is al jumlatul ismiya. And if you want to also analyze it as a jumlatul fi'liya, then you will say uridu is fail plus file, and an anzila will be maf'ul bihi, I want to get down. Ana uridu an anzila. Zin li kilograman min as-sukkari ya baqalu. Okay, weigh for me 1 kilogram of sugar, O grocer, or the grocer. weigh for me 1 kilogram of sugar. Zin li, wazana, yazinu, and fail al-amr is zin. Okay. ويجوز زني كيلوغراما من السكري. It is also possible to say يعني زني. Now you know that al-ya al-mutakallim, when the ya al-mutakallim is added, then you know that another noon is also added. So because we have two noons, two noons together, so you know what happens? They are merged into tashdid. That's why it has become zinni kilograman min as-sukariya baqalu. So there are two ways to say zinli or zinni. Did you get the idea, like why we have tashdid in zinni?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Aisha. Ya Salma, da'i hadha al-kitaba ala maktabi. O Salma, put this book on my table. Da'i, of course, for feminine, it was da'ina, and you know that it was basically
Command.
and then you know that the noon gets dropped. Yes, excellent. And also alamatul mudari gets dropped, so it becomes you put this book on my table. لماذا تقف هنا يا أخي؟ اجلس. Okay, here تقف will be translated as stop, or it will be translated as standing.
Why are you standing?
Why are you standing? Yeah. لماذا تقف هنا يا أخي? Why are you standing here, oh my brother? اجلس, have a seat or sit. لا تقف في الطريق. Don't stop or stand on the road. Yeah. Also, it's like from Islamic point of view, as we know that it's not ideal for people to stay on the road or on the streets, especially on the streets, especially in our culture, like in Pakistan and India and subcontinent, like some guys or some people, they just stay on the road for no reason. So that's why it also refers to that as well. لا تقف في الطريق. Don't stand on the road or in the road. قال الله عز وجل في سورة السبع. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Saba, يعلم ما يلج في الأرض وما يخرج منها. يلج, do you remember the meaning of يلج?
Take out.
لا دخل, it means, I think. ولج
Same like
what comes out of the earth?
the same like the khala.
دخل يدخل, yeah. دخل, yeah. So يعلم ما يلج في الأرض. He knows like what enters to the ground. Yeah. And وما يخرج منها, and what comes out of it.
Comes out.
Yeah. وما ينزل من السماء, and what comes down from the skies. وما يعرج فيها, and what goes to the, or what ascends to the skies. وهو الرحيم الغفور, and he is all forgiving, almighty. الرحيم, all forgiving, and al-Ghafuru, almighty, all powerful. And وقال تعالى في سورة الشورى, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Shura, لله ملك السماوات والأرض. Okay, now I'm sure you can analyze لله ملك السماوات والأرض, and also you can relate like why lillahi is in the beginning of the ayah.
Emphasis.
For emphasis, yeah. Jar majroor, yeah, when jar majroor is muqaddam, that means it is useful for emphasis. So whatever is in the heavens and in the earth belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or belongs only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يخلق ما يشاء. He creates whatever he wants. خلق يخلق شاء يشاء. يهب لمن يشاء إناثا ويهب لمن يشاء الذكور. He grants whoever he wants girls, and he grants whoever he wants boys. Inathan wa dhukur, it's the plural of inathan is the plural of untha, and dhukur is the plural of dhakarun. Yes. Alhamdulillah. So now we have clear idea of these verses as well, and I'm very sure that everything is clear and you know everything about these verses. Sha'a yasha'u has hamza, and we have also learned a little bit about mahmuz. You know that the verb that consists of hamza is called mahmuz, right? So you need to recall all of these things because now, inshallah, we will take them all one by one. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية لاسم or لاسم المصغر. Okay, اسم المصغر, مصغر. Please try to figure out the.
اسم مفعول.
This is اسم المفعول. Okay. So what will be the
Form to.
صغر.
Excellent. Yeah. It
سبح.
is سبح يسبح, صغر يصغر تصغيرا, to make something smaller. Okay. And what will be the opposite of صغر يصغر تصغيرا?
كبر.
كبر يكبر. كبر
كبر
يكبر تكبيرا.
تكبير.
Yeah, to make something bigger. And when we say takbir, that means kabbara means, it also means to say Allahu Akbar. So yes, it can be translated as to make something bigger. For example, you say, teacher, kabbir ash-shasha, make the screen bigger. Or also when we say takbir, it also means to say Allahu Akbar. So kabbara yukabbiru takbiran. So mukabbir and mukabbar. Similarly, we have musaghir and musaghar. So ismul tasghir, as it is called, diminutive, to make something smaller. For example, walaydun is waladun saghirun. So waladun saghirun, and then when you want to say, like, out of love, walaydun, you will say walaydun. Similarly, jubaylun means jabalun saghirun, a small mountain. Nuhayrun, nahrun saghirun, a small river. And kulaybun, kalbun saghirun, a small dog, like puppy, we can say. Now, صغر الأسماء الآتية. Now, you have to write the short form of the following verbs. So, رجل will be
رجال.
رجيل. Okay. قلم
خليم.
قليم. Okay. طفل
طفيل.
And نجم
نجيم.
نجيم. Yes. All right. Again, we have to reflect. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية لاسم التفضيل. اسم التفضيل. What is the pattern of اسم التفضيل? Of the comparative?
أفعل.
أفعل is the pattern of اسم التفضيل. It is also called أفعل تفضيل or اسم التفضيل. It has two names. أفعل تفضيل, why it is said? It is said because it comes on the pattern of أفعل. Okay, so from qalilun we have aqallu. And why is that? Because this kalima has idgham, so we have to merge it, and two lams will get merged into one, and then tashdid will be placed. So from qalilun it becomes aqallu. Similarly, from ladhidun it will be aladhu, tasty. Ladhiz, yeah, aladhu. And aladhu min, of course, we will say tastier than. Or after that, if we don't have min, then that means it is the tastiest. You remember that, right? Yeah, superlative. Shadidun, ashaddu, and habibun, ahabbu. Like severe and then beloved, ahabbu. All right. Iqra ma yali. So would you please like to read? Okay. Yes, please.
بقي أقل من ساعة. And there's very little time left in an hour.
Yeah, less than hour is left.
Less than an hour.
Yeah, less than an hour. Like بقي أقل من ساعة.
Okay,
So we have,
أقل من ساعة.
yeah, we have less than an hour, or less than an hour is left. Okay, yes, please. Someone else?
البرتقال لذيذ وتفاه ألذ منه. The orange is tasty, and the apple is tastier than it.
Excellent. البرتقال لذيذ والتفاح ألذ منه. Okay. Yes. أبي حبيب إلي. Yes.
أبي حبيب إلي وأمي أحب إلي منه. Abi, my father is dearer to me, and my mother is أحب إلي, is more dearer than him.
Yes. يعني أبي حبيب إلي, my father is dearer to me. وأمي أحب إلي منه, and my mother is dearer to me than him. Okay. Number 4.
البرد اليوم أشد. The weather, no, the cold اليوم today is severe.
Is severe,
أشد
yeah.
is
Yes. The cold is very severe today, or it is very cold today. Okay.
ما أحب الدروس إليك. Which subject do you like most?
Or which lessons do you like the most? Yeah. ما أحب الدروس. Yeah. Okay. أفعل التفضيل, if you remember, it is always used as مضاف, if you remember.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it is ما أحب الدروس إليك. Which
ما أحب
lessons?
الدروس إليك.
Yeah. Which lessons do you like the most? Okay. Here ma is used as istifham, or is it used as a nafiya?
اسم موصول I think Ustad.
Which lessons? Yeah. ما أحب الدروس إليك
Yeah.
or إليك. Which lessons? Istifham, right? Istifham, yeah.
Yeah, استفهام.
Okay. Yes, please continue.
أحب الدروس إلي القرآن الكريم. I like القرآن الكريم the most.
Yeah, the lessons of Al-Quran Al-Kareem are dearer to me, right?
Dear,
or I love the lessons of Al-Quran
are the
Al-Kareem.
dearest to me.
Yes, excellent. Ilayya, to me. Okay. Yes,
كانت
please.
طلاب anyone okay.
Yes, sister.
كان الطلاب قليلا أمس. The students were little yesterday. واليوم هم أقل. Today هم أقل.
Like there were
even less.
There were less students yesterday, and today there are very few, right?
Very few.
And today there are very few.
Very few.
Yeah, there were like some students yesterday, but today there are very few.
Fewer.
Okay, or fewer. All right. Man ahabbun nasi ilayka. Who is the dearest of among the people to you? Ahabbun nasi ilayya Rasulullah. The dearest of all the human beings is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to me. Okay, now when we say ahabbun nasi here, we can see here that there is no min here, so that means it will be translated as the dearest to me. Yeah, because ahabbu minan nasi, then it will be dearer to me. Then we have comparative, but when we don't have min, we know that then we have to use the superlative. So ahabbun nasi, the dearest among the people, ilayya, to me, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this must be true, and it must be reflected in our personality and in our actions as well. It's not like we celebrate one day and then we say that we love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the rest of the year we don't like do good deeds, we don't even pray, and we don't perform our duties. It's not something that is done like in 1 day or 2 days. It's something that is we have to do on a daily basis. And you know that the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 24/7, we have to make sure that we try to follow him as much as we can. Starting from when we wake up, and we wake up with a masnoon dua, Allahumma bismillah amutu wa ahya, and then after that, whatever activities we start, even we go to bathroom, we come out, we dress ourselves up, everything. If we start, and reminding myself as well, if we start everything with masnoon dua, that is the best kind of dhikr, and that's the best way of following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't know how many duas you remember, but the basics, like before sleeping, after waking up, going to bathroom, and changing dressing ourselves up, getting out of the house, getting inside the house, all of these duas we must recite every day on a daily basis, keeping in mind that we are following the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, الدرس السادس. Okay, تأمل ما يليه. We have to reflect on the following. Okay, أين الكتاب? Where is the book? ها هو ذا, and that means هو هذا, that means here it is. ها هو ذا, here it is. Basically, if you remember, هذا can you break down hada? Hada, I told you, I think a couple of days ago. Ha is,
and the
yeah, ha is harf al-tanbih, and dha is basically ismul ishara. So ha huwa dha, here it is. Huwa means it, as we know that it can be translated as he, and also it can be translated as it, depending on what we are talking about here, because we are talking about the book. So we will say here it is. Aina Bilalun. Ha huwa dha. Here he is, right? I will say here he is. Okay, here I am. Aina Saatu, where is the watch? Ha hiya the. And of course, like when we are talking about the feminine, then we have to use the feminine ismul ishara, which is not like, we know that we use alladhi and we use allati, but when you break it down, then it will be used as ha hiya the. Something that is according to hiya, that is the. So ha hiya the, it means here it is. Aina Ibrahimu, where is Ibrahim? And Ibrahim says, ha anada, here I am. Ha anada, here I am. Ha antum haulai. If this expression is used a lot in the Quran, ha antum haulai. Here you are, you people, or ha antum haulai. Here you are, all of you.
those.
Yes. Oh, no. Okay. Aisha says no. Okay. Now, yatadaharu al-mudarrisu. Okay, yatadaharu. Try to figure out the verb form.
ظاهرة ظاهرة
Yes. Try to figure out if maybe we can reach there.
ظاهرة
Zahara will be
Tafa'ala.
yuzahiru. It is? Yes, it's number 6. You remember? Tafa'ala yatafa'alu, which is basically tadarasa yatadarasu. The number 6, which we couldn't continue, I just gave you an idea that it's basically used. Okay, now you will come to know about this, that this number 6, or this verb form number 6, is basically used in two ways, or it has two meanings. Do you remember the first meaning that we talked about? I know it was very brief, so maybe you remember that. Tadarasa yatadarasu tadarusan. It means
to
yeah,
like it's study. I mean, within. I mean, with among two people.
yes, it's like the group. It's like either two persons, or it's two parties, or two groups, or many people, and everyone is a subject. There is no one as object, and everyone is the doer of the action, and there is no one who is the receiver of the action. If you remember about fa'ala yufa'ilu mufa'alatan, and the example that we have learned is jahada yujahidu mujahadatan. Yeah, over there it involves two parties, but one is basically the doer, that is the subject, and the other is the object. And from there, the difference is that over there, one has to be the doer and other has to be the receiver of the action. And the example that we have, Surah Al-Mujadala, Jadala, Yujadilu, Mujadalatan, that the lady comes over to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and she argues with him, right? قَدْ سَمِيَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّتِي تُجَادِلُكَ. So basically that, قَدْ سَمِيَ اللَّهُ, Surah Al-Mujadala, why it is named as Mujadala? Because that lady comes over to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and argues about her husband, right? So that's why there is one, the lady is like, so she is the doer of the action, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the receiver of the action. So there is one doer and one receiver. However, in number 6, verb form number 6, no one is receiver of the action. So when we say tadarasa yatadarasu, nahnu natadarasu, that means we are learning and teaching. So everyone is learning and everyone is teaching. So that's why when we have Dars al-Quran, like people say that they are getting together, so they're all learning and teaching. There is no one special or no one specific who is like leading or who is the leader. So everyone will be the subject. That's number 1. Number 2, which is very like rare, but also the quality of the characteristic of number 6, bab number 6 is to pretend to do something. To pretend to do something. For example, we say tamarada yatamaradu. For example, someone is not sick, but he is pretending to be sick. Similarly, yatadahara, the teacher is pretending to hide something. Yatadahara means to pretend to hide something. يتظاهر المدرس بالبحث عن شيء. The teacher pretends to look for something. بالبحث. Okay, what about بحث? This
Research.
kalima.
Searching.
Yeah, but well, like
Fine.
what is it? Is it a verb or noun or what is it? بحث.
Masdar.
Masdar, excellent, yeah.
Master.
بحث يبحث بحثا. We have learned it already in the previous lessons. So the teacher pretends to look for something. بالبحث, you know that harf jar ba is very common and it's like literally used with everything. So the teacher pretends to look for something. اسمه مذكر, يعني something that is masculine. فيقول أحد الطلاب, and one of the students says ها هو ذا, here it is. So the teacher pretends to hide something which is masculine, and then the student like finds it out and he says, teacher, ha huwa the, here it is. It's like a classroom activity. We are not in like physical classroom activity, otherwise we could have done it. For example, I've got a pen, I hide it, and then let's say Irfan or like one of the sisters, she finds it out and she says, ha huwa the, here it is. This expression is basically used for something that you are looking for and then you find it. You remember the story of the wallet? Like the student loses his wallet and he was looking for it, and then one of the students says,
Goes
"Ha,
from
here
under
the,
the
yeah," he says, "Ha, here it is." Okay. Similarly,
Sir, but
yes.
Zahara means to be
ظاهرة
like
ظاهرة يظاهر
does
مظاهرة. You know that's specific to like, you know, that term like that was used by the Arabs in Jahiliyyah. They used to say like, you're like my mother
Yes,
to me, yeah, or you're like the back
yes,
of my
yes.
mother to me. So
Okay,
that was
yes.
ظاهرة يظاهر مظاهرة. But when it comes to this bab, which is bab number 6, يتظاهر, that means you pretend to look for something. You pretend.
To hide.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So the idea is clear now, right? And the other example is tamarada yatamaradu, which is tamarudan, which is you pretend to be sick. For example, inshallah, we will take it in detail in book number 3, but like you have already got some idea that like some student is not sick, but he is pretending to be sick because he got absent and he tells the teacher, I was sick, and he is just pretending to be sick. So that will be tamarada yatamaradu.
So
However,
it was a little confusing because like if we say Zahir or Zuhur, so it's like to make something apparent or something is apparent, and now the meaning is like
yeah, the
almost
meaning
completely
is,
opposite.
yeah, because we have started from Zahara Yadharu, Zaharan. If you remember, if we talk about the trilateral verbs, that means to appear or to show something, you know, if you remember.
Yes.
Zahara Yadharu, Zaharan or Zaharan. And then Ismul Fa'il will be Zahirun, like someone that is apparent. And Ismul Maf'ul will be Madhurun. Okay, when we talk about the trilateral verbs, it will be Zahara Yadharu. What will be Ismul Fa'il? Zahirun. Yeah, so that's why we say al-fa'il al-zahiru, that means the file is apparent, something that is apparent. Then we take it into the third one, which is zahara yuzahiru muzaharatan. That means to pronounce someone like, you know, like your mother or the back of your mother, which we have in Surah Al-Mujadala. And here it means tadahara yatadaharu, that means that you pretend to look for something.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, mashallah, like when they get into different chapters or when they get into different forms of the verb, then the meanings will also change. And once, inshallah, you are able to master that, and then, inshallah, whenever you are reciting the Quran, it will be so easy for you. And believe me, the derived forms of the verb are easier than the trilateral verbs, because trilateral verbs, they change a lot. And they have different masdar as well, source as well. Whereas for the derived forms of the verb, at least the masdar is fixed. It will never change. For example, as we have sabbaha yusabbihu tasbihan. So every verb will come on that pattern. Saghara yusaghiru tasghiran, as you know, right? Kabbara yukabbiru takbiran. So all of them will be on the same pattern. And similarly, when we go into bab number 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, we have reached up to number 6, inshallah, alhamdulillah. So 3 or 4 of them are left, and we will also slowly but surely we will continue. But I guess now we will stop for a while because I don't want them and like these to be mixed, because now we are into the weak verbs and they need a lot of like effort, inshallah, and we will do that. And similarly, okay, number 3, please someone read it, and then there is another word which you have to tell me about. Yes, sentence number 3. So sentence number 2 is clear. ثم يتظاهر بالبحث عن شيء, then the teacher pretends to be looking for something. اسمه مؤنث, يعني that thing is feminine. ويقول أحد الطلاب, and one of the students says ها هي ذي, here it is. So the first one was masculine and the second one is feminine. What about the third one?
متكلم.
ثم
About
يتظاهر
the first person.
بالبحث.
Yeah, but you have to tell me, like, what's the meaning of مبحوث?
The one who is found.
Yes, okay, yes. So please try to translate it. Okay, ثم يتظاهر بالبحث عن طالب. Then the teacher pretends to be
This is
looking
on
for a
the
student. Mhm.
And the one who is found out.
Excellent. ويقول
Uh,
المبحوث,
by
and the one
himself.
who has been found, عنه نفسه, he says about himself, ها أنا ذا, here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am, right? Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Number 10. تأمل المثال ثم كون جملا مثله مستعملا فيها يجب علي. So now we have to basically use يجب علي مستعينا بالكلمة الواردة بين القوسين, by seeking help from the words, or from the words that we have in the brackets. So we have to use يجب علي or يجب علينا, and we have to use the verbs that we have in the brackets. Okay, المثال يجب علينا أن نفهم القرآن ونعمل به. It is a must for us, or it is necessary for us to understand Quran and to act upon it. All right, so who is going to answer number 1?
يجب علينا أن نكتب الواجبات.
بانتظام, right? It is necessary for us to write the homeworks or the homework regularly. بانتظام means regularly. Okay. So يجب علينا أن نكتب الواجبات بانتظام, right? It is necessary for us to write the homework regularly. Yes, now we are talking to the second person, to the feminine. Yes.
أبينا
One of the
يجب
sisters,
عليك.
yes. يجب
يجب عليك
عليك
كي تحفظين
أن-
سورتين.
Yes, أن تحفظي
أن تحفظي سورتين هذا الأسبوع.
هذا الأسبوع, right?
أسبوع.
Okay. It's necessary for you to memorize
to memorize two surahs.
2 surahs or 2
This
chapters
week.
of the
This
Quran
week.
this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you should be able to know, like, why al-usbu'a has fatha, and why is that?
مفعول
Because-
فيه.
Or it is maf'ul fihi, that's right.
ظرف
Yes,
مكان.
yes, yeah, لا maf'ul fihi, that's right. When we talk about the time and the place, like when we talk about the time, like what time, and the days or the month or the year, when it is mansub, that means it is maf'ul fihi. Okay. يجب تخرجون من الفصل بهدوء.
عليكم.
عليكم. Okay. Yes, please complete. يجب عليكم أن
تخرجوا من الفصل بهدوء.
Okay. أن تخرجوا. And why is it تخرجوا?
Because an is
Because of
حرف النصب.
Noon will drop.
yeah.
Noon will
Also
be
for
dropped.
تحفظين, the noon will also drop because of an. Yeah. An is حرف ناصب, and what does it do? Either it changes dhamma into fatha, or when the noon is there, it drops the noon altogether. So yajibu alaykum an takhruju, and then we know that alif will be added. Takhruju min al fasli bihuduin. It is necessary for you to leave the class quietly.
Okay, so I did the first one wrong. I thought it was for alayna, so it will be
This is
alayka.
for
Yajibu
Alayka and
alayka
taktub.
an taktubal wajibati.
To be honest, I was
Bil
thinking
wajib.
that there is something wrong. Like in my unconscious, I was like, yes, there is something wrong. But then this is how we learn, and that this is how we teach. يجب عليك أن تكتب الواجبات بانتظام. Yeah. Okay. تدخلون الفصل قبل دخول المدرس. تدخلون. Okay. Yes. يجب
عليكم
عليكم
يجب عليكم أن تدخلوا
أن
أن
تدخلوا
تدخلوا الفصل.
الفصل
فصل
Okay.
تدخل
قبل
قبل
دخول
دخول
المدرس. Okay.
المدرس.
Okay, so try to translate it. I'm sure you can do it.
It's must for you
It is
all
It is
to
necessary
enter
to
the
enter the
class
class before
enter the class
before
the
before
teacher
the
enters.
teacher enters.
Before the teacher enters. Okay, dukhul. What kind of masdar is it? Is this masdar sarih or
Real.
the real masdar, or is it the interpreted masdar?
Mazda, sorry.
Okay, if we change it into masdar al-mu'awwal, how will we change it?
أن
قبل أن
أن تدخل
يدخل.
يدخل, right? Al-mudarris, for mudarris we will use يدخل, right? So قبل أن يدخل المدرس, before the teacher enters. So as we said, or we discussed earlier, like the interpreted masdar, we will try to change it with the masdar as-sarih, and then if we have masdar as-sarih, we will try to change it into interpreted masdar, and inshallah it will become easier for you to figure out and to translate it. Okay, تدرس اللغة العربية لأنها لغة القرآن. يجب عليك أن
تدرس اللغة
العربية. تدرس اللغة العربية لأنها لغة القرآن. It is necessary for you to learn Arabic language because it is the language of the Quran. لأنها لغة القرآن. All right. الذهاب مصدر ذهب يذهب نقول. So as it says, الذهاب is the source or the masdar of ذهب يذهب. نقول, we say, أريد الذهاب إلى البيت. I want to go to my house. So أريد الذهاب or أريد أن أذهب إلى البيت. Both of them are okay, right? أريد أن أذهب or أريد الذهاب إلى البيت. I want to go to my house. يا أستاذ أرجو أن تسمح لي بالذهاب إلى المستشفى. I request you to allow me to go to the hospital. أن تسمح لي. Now here you can see بالذهاب again. It is used as the real masdar. And if we change it into masdar al-mu'awwal, we will say أن أذهب إلى المستشفى, right? يا أستاذ أرجو أن تسمح لي أن أذهب إلى المستشفى أو بالذهاب إلى المستشفى. I request you to allow me to go to the hospital. خرجت من الفصل.
So B will have no effect. I mean, we will just drop the B.
Yes, that's right, because al-masdar al-mu'awwal, because we replace it all together with an, and then an has its own function. So either you say an adhaba or bidhahabi. You know, this preposition be is like used so frequently, and here you're asking the teacher to allow you to go to the hospital. So either you can say bidhahabi or you can say an adhaba ila al-mustashfa. Because an adhaba is verb, and normally we don't use preposition with the verb. Most of the times it is used with the noun. Okay, were you able to have a look at the documents that I sent you today about masdar al-mu'awwal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will talk about this inshallah after we finish this lesson. It's almost finished. خرجت من الفصل للذهاب إلى المدير. I left the classroom, or I went out of the classroom to go to the manager. للذهاب إلى المدير أو أن أذهب إلى المدير, to go to the manager. هذه تذكرة طائرة. This is the ticket to the airplane. إلى دمشق, to دمشق. ذهابا وإيابا. Return ticket, or for going and coming back. If we translate it like word by word, ذهابا, going, وإيابا, and coming back. ذهب يذهب ذهابا. Okay, do you remember the base verb of iyaban and the verse of the Quran as well?
Inna ilayna iyabahum.
Okay, excellent.
Return, Ustad.
ثم إن علينا حسابهم. Return.
حسابهم.
Excellent. One thing you have reached over there. What about the second thing? What about the verb? Like it's the master of which verb? Aba yaubu.
Return.
Aba
Aba yaubu. Okay. Aba yaubu. That's basically awaba. Yawabu. It's the, if we look at the root letters, this is Hamza, Waw, and Ba. Awaba yawabu. Then it changes into Aba yaubu. Aba yaubu iyaban. Al-kalimatu al-jadidatu, the new words. Ajnabiyun means stranger, right? Foreigner or stranger. Mahfadatun, on the pattern of maf'alatun, madrasatun.
مفعلة.
Yes, all right. So it means a wallet or a purse. Naqdun, and the plural is nuqudun, money. Naqdun, and then the plural is nuqudun, money. And then we have khata'un, mistake, and the plural is akhta'un, mistakes. Okay, nuqudun is on the pattern of urulun, and akhta'un is on the pattern of af'alun. Af'alun, right?
af'alun.
Okay. Iyabun, coming. Adhahabu, going. Or to
Going.
come and to go. Qursun, tablet, and the plural is aqrasun, tablets. Tadkiratun means a ticket.
Tablet.
And
This tablets is medicine or a tab?
not the tablets that we take medicine.
Ilaj.
Yes, for ilaj. Also for the CD, like the DVD that we have, even for the DVD, they use the same word, qursun. However, it's used for the tablets of the medicine.
Okay.
Tadkiratun, ticket, and the plural is tadhakiru,
Mafailu.
mafailu. Excellent. Kilogram, and then the plural is kilogramaat, kilograms.
Mashallah.
Then we have untha, and the plural is inathan, right? And the verse that we have seen today, dhakarun, male, and then the plural is dhukurun. So this is on the pattern of fi'alun, and this is on the pattern of fa'ulun. Bin thidamin, regularly. Wajaba, yajibu, wujuban, to be necessary. Araja, ya'ruju, urujan, to ascend, to go up, to ascend. A-S-C-E-N-D, to ascend or to go up. Balya yablau bal'an, to swallow. As we discussed today in the beginning of the lesson, that sometimes the past tense can have, like the ayn kalima can have two harakat. It could be bal'a yabla'u bal'an, and also bala'a yabla'u bal'an, kadhalika sahihun, and that is also right. That is also true, or that is also correct. Did you have the chance to have a look at the handouts for this lesson? And did you have the chance to memorize or to go through what we have in the end here? We were not able to take it all, or we were not able to discuss them all. So, because it has a lot of vocabulary over there. I don't know if you had the chance to go through it. If not, we still have like 10 minutes. Now, there are a few things that I would like you to learn or to know. And that's number one, about the masdar. I sent you a document today. I hope it was clear to you. If you have any questions, you can ask about that. That's number one. And number two, when we come back, inshallah, on Sunday, tomorrow, Irfan, tomorrow for sure, there is no class. Actually, I wasn't able to read my schedule properly. My proctoring was tomorrow and not today. So,
Sir, Akeed, tomorrow is off.
Yes, but you know that khabar, it changes. يتغير دائما. Khabar keeps on changing, you know. That's why we say mubtada and khabar, and the news always changes. So you never know.
Inshallah, this time no change.
أنا متأكد. Yes, I'm sure. So we have taken that أجنبي, we know, and محفظة, نقد, and نقود, تذكرة. شديد means severe. أنثى, ذكر, we have taken that. إياب and ذهاب. يشاء, he wills. Yes, here. So بلع يبلغ بلعا, to swallow. أعرج يعرج عروجا, to ascend. And وجب يجب وجوبا, to be necessary. وجد يجد, do you remember the masdar of وجد يجد?
وجودا.
وجودا, excellent. وجودا. And then we have وصل يصل وصولا. It has two, it has masdarain. What is the other one?
One is wusulan, sir.
And the second one? Silatan, silatul masul. Yeah, you remember silatul masul? Yeah.
Yes,
Silat.
we
Silatan,
read it
okay.
yesterday.
Yeah, and the mithal will rarely it has two. It has masdarain, I should say. Rarely it has masdarain, and we should know both of them because we use them a lot. And the one we have here, we have wazana yazinu, waznan. The word wazn is not new to you, and the plural is awzan. From day first, we have been talking about awzan and the wazn of the verb and the wazn of the noun. And this verb comes on this pattern, on this wazn, and this noun comes on this wazn. So here it is wazana yazinu waznan wazinatan. Yeah, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, adada khalqihi, wa rida nafsihi, wazinata arshihi, wa midada kalimatihi. This is a very powerful dua, which we always recite, inshallah, in the morning 3 times and in the afternoon 3 times, and it has a lot of benefits. So the word zinatan is used over there as well. Wa'ada ya'idu wa'dan wa'idatan. So also wa'ada has 2, or it has masdarain, which is wa'dan and idatan. Waqafa yaqifu wuqufan, to stop or to stand, as we discussed earlier. Habibun, dear. Walaja yaliju wulujan, to enter. Wada'a yada'u wada'an, to place. And wahaba yahabu wahaban wahibatan, to grant. When someone gives someone a gift, that gift is also called hiba, hibatan. So hiba is also used for the gift. And of course, in the context of the verse, whoever Allah wants or to give, grants them the sons, and whoever he wants, he grants them the daughters. And the rest of the verse, you know that as well. So hibatan is used for the gift. So zinatan, wasilatan, waidatan, wahibatan. Okay, one more. Wasafa yasifu, to describe something. Try to find wasfan, wa, and there is another one on the pattern of sifatan. Okay. So you remember something about wasala, sir. So you remember something about sifa? Mawsuf and sifa. Yeah, sifa. So that comes from wasafa yasifu, to describe something. For example, sifli nafsak, describe yourself to me, like tell me about yourself, introduce yourself. So sifli nafsak, so introduce yourself, and wasafa yasifu wasfan wasifatan. So that sifa means adjective. All right. I know it's time to leave, but before we leave, I would like you to have a look at al-masdar. Okay, this is very important. This is not everything about al-masdar, but still it's like some information that you should already know about it, or I'm sure you already know about it. Al-masdaru, what is masdar? It's a verbal noun. Okay, so an Arabic verb contains 3 pieces of information. The verb has 3 pieces of information: the doer, the action, the verb, the doer, and then we talk about the time. It could be present or past or future. For example, dakhala, number 1, the action, and then we have he is the actor and entered is the time. So it has 3 things. But the masdar, basically it does not have 3 things. It has only 1 thing, and that is the action. So it's basically the actor, and the time is not over there. As we discussed earlier, that masdar is beyond time. It does not include any time. However, it behaves, sometimes it behaves as a verb, or it acts as a verb, and sometimes it acts as a noun. So when it acts as a noun, you can see here, it declines like a noun. For example, dukhulun, dukhulan, dukhulin. It gets the tanween when it is indefinite, we know that, and it also gets al when it is indefinite. When it is definite, it takes al, and when it is indefinite, it takes tanween. For example, dukhulun, dukhulan, dukhulin, ad-dukhulu, ad-dukhula, and ad-dukhuli. So we can also add al to it as well. So it has only action, but it does not have the doer, and it does not have the time. It is also called the original, so it has different names. For example, the original form of the verb, or it is called infinitive, and it is also called gerund. Sometimes there are multiple verbal nouns for a given verb. Multiple means it can have two maximum, I guess, like we have seen today, wasfan, wasifatan, waznan, wazinatan. So it can have two, or it can have masdarain as well. Okay, which patterns do you remember that we have learned already? We have learned the pattern of fu'ulun, for example, khurujun wa nuzulun. Also, we have learned in this lesson the pattern of fa'alun, which is dhahabun and najahun. And also we have learned the pattern of fa'alun. For example, nasara yansuru, nasran, daraba yadribu, darban, fataha yaftahu, fathan or fathun, and samia yasma'u, sam'un or sam'an. So three of them, they are not new to us, we know them already. And there are three more, alima ya'lamu ilman and hafidha yahfadhu hifdhan. And then we have on the pattern of fu'lan, for example, shariba yashrubu shurbun and shakara yashkuru shukrun. And then we have on the pattern of fi'alatan, darasa yadrusu dirasatan, wa abada ya'budu ibadatan. Ibadatan and dirasatan, I think we have also talked about these two as well. So these are like 6 patterns. These are the most commonly used 6 patterns. However, as the Sheikh is like introducing 1 or 2 patterns after every 2 or 3 lessons. So يجب عليكم أن نكتب ونحافظ. It's up to you now to write them and to memorize them, because that's the only way to learn the masdar, especially for the verbs that have 3 root letters. And this is what we have talked today, the original masdar or the interpreted masdar, al-masdaru al-mu'awwalu. Okay, al-mu'awwalu. Let's see if you can figure it out and tell me the present and the past.
Form 2.
Form 2, okay. Yes, excellent.
Awwala.
Awwala, excellent.
Awwala.
Awwala. Yu'awwilu ta'wilan. Yes, awwala yu'awwilu ta'wilan, right? So, wahuwa mu'awwilun. The one who interprets something is mu'awwil, and something that has been interpreted is mu'awwal. Yeah, so that's why we call it al-masdar al-mu'awwal, because it's not the original masdar. We are interpreting it as masdar. So that's why it is called al-masdar al-mu'awwal. Awwala yu'awwilu ta'wilan fahuwa mu'awwilun. And then ism al-maf'ul will be mu'awwalun. And the example we have discussed already, uridu an adhaba, I want to go. And here an is harfu nasb wa masdar. We know that it is used as nasb, harfi nasb, and also it changes the verb from dhamma into fatha. So it was adhabu, and because of an it has become adhaba. Uridu an adhaba, or the other way, if you want to use the real masdar or al-masdar as-sarih, if you want to use that, you will say uridu dhahaba, I want to go. Uridu dhahaba, I want to go. So it's up to you, whichever is easier for you to use. In the beginning, initially, as when I started, I would find al-masdar al-mu'awwal to use, and it is easier to use, especially in speaking. And inshallah, with the passage of time, you will also get used to the real masdar and how to use it. So you can say, nuridu al-dhahaba, we want to go now. Yes, Irfan. Or we can say, nuridu an nadhaba. Yeah, we want to go now. So inshallah, I will see you on Sunday. Please, these lessons again, one more time, I want to tell you that these lessons are very important. So please, everything that you are learning now, at least this information, you should know about it. Because what happens now, we will talk about ajwaf and naqis, and then things will get mixed. So I don't want you to mix them all. Mithal has very few rules, and I'm sure, inshallah, you know that it comes on the pattern of daraba yadribu, a lot of it, and then some of it on the pattern of fataha yaftahu, and very few on the pattern of hasiba yahsibu. Okay, one more thing, inshallah, when we come back on Sunday. Number one, we need to learn about, for thalathi mujarrad, how many bab do we have, or abwab do we have? For thalathi mujarrad, for trilateral.
9.
La,
9, but we
trilateral,
use 6.
la,
Six.
only six.
6.
Nasara yansuru, nasaran,
Fataha
Daraba
yaftahu,
yad-
sami'a yasma'u,
and yeah,
daraba
daraba yadribu, fataha yaftahu,
Sami'a
sami'a
yasma'u.
yasma'u. 4 of them, okay? So you know 4 of them, and there are 2 more, which is karuma yakrumu and hasiba yahsibu. Inshallah, we will discuss first on Sunday these 2, so that you are clear about 6 forms of the first 6 cases of the first form of the verb. So the first form of the verb has 6 cases, and especially karuma yakrumu is very, very important. It is very rare, but it is very important, because all the words like habibun and the word like kareemun, saghirun,
Kabba.
kabirun, they all come from the bab karuma yakrumu. I'm just giving you a hint of it, and inshallah we will discuss all of them, or we will discuss these 2 inshallah on Sunday when we come back. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair.
Wa iyyakum.